Hello, everybody. I am excited to share a little something with you guys. I decided to jump on live here because I just thought it would be fun to connect with you guys this week. I have a few extra minutes, and so I thought I would. So I am just trying to find my live here on Facebook. Oops, there I am. Hello, everybody. Okay, so I have most of this prepped and ready to go because I just want to show you how to do this. So if you're watching on YouTube, I'm not live anymore, but you can comment below, and if you have questions, I will help you. And then there's also photos and instructions on my website, which you can click over to. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing is you need something 12 by 12. Hey, Daisy. 12 by 12. So I have this, which is this these white velvet sheets. And what you want to do is take your trimmer, and the one we're going to make is going to be a little bit smaller. I'm going to show you two different sizes. So you take whatever you have. Glitter paper works good. Just plain cardstock. You're going to be doing a lot of folding, and you're going to need some really strong adhesive. So when you're picking your items, make sure that you are thinking that through. So you're going to need 2 strips, and I'm doing this one. I think this one's at 1.5. But you can do it at 2 inches. I would say 1.5, 2, or 2.5 is going to probably be the right size if you're going to hang this on a Christmas tree. I'm going to just go ahead and cut this one at 2 inches just to show you. Okay. So you're going to need 2 of these. So 2 strips of 12 by 12, and then whatever width you make it, whatever width you want. So if you're going to do 2 inches, you'll need 2 pieces, 12 by 12, 12 by 2 inches. Okay. I hope that made sense. So you'll need 2 of these. Then what you're going to do is take your scoreboard, or however you score. If you're using the velvet paper or you're using glitter paper, flip it over so that you're scoring on the back. And what you're going to do is score every 1/2 inch. So you just make a score line every 1/2 inch. So it's a 1/2 inch mark, the 1 inch mark, 1.5, 2, 2.5. You get the idea? And you just make your little score marks. Again, I've prepped all this, but I want to show you how to do it so that there's no confusion. So after you score your whole strip, what you'll do is you will come back and you will fold it back and forth. Okay? So then you will get 2 items that look like this. Now what I've done is I've taken a border punch. This is a scalloped border punch. And I've made one end scalloped. So the one that we're going to put together on camera will have the scalloped edge. The larger one that I show you will not have the scalloped edge. Okay, so you'll see both. So after you have your 2 pieces and you've scored them, and then you fold back and forth so it looks like an accordion. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take some tear tape. You want some strong adhesive. I'm using both tear and tape and hot glue. Okay, so then what we're going to do is on one of the ends here, and you really want to make sure whatever adhesive you're using, it has to be strong, okay? I cannot express to you how much you need strong adhesive. So I'm going to take the tear and tape, and I'm going to put it on this end. And then I'm also going to overlap. So just so the whole panel is covered. Every year I make a handmade ornament to put on the tree. So I have like, I don't know, probably close to 10 of them. And it's really fun. I usually write on the back of the ornament, like which year I made it, and then it's fun to hang them on the tree. I know a friend of mine does it, and she has a whole tree that's a mini tree in her kitchen that holds all of her handmade ones, which is fun. So now what you want to do, you want this to go together like this so the accordion keeps going normal, okay? So you're going to take this piece. This is the part that always confuses me, because if you do it like this, then it's going to throw off your accordion, right? Like when you fold it, it's going to throw it off and you're going to have a piece that looks like this. So you have to put it back to back. So I have my adhesive right here. Now I'm going to take this piece and we're going to put it right together like so. You can do this with hot glue as well. That's usually what I use for rosettes. You're making a rosette is basically what you're doing. Okay, so now you can see that your accordion keeps going normal, like it doesn't throw it off, okay? So then you're gonna do the same thing to this side. So we're gonna put adhesive. These I thought would be really fun to make with my kids. Like if I prepped all the pieces and then like we could put their names on it or something. When I was trying to decide what I wanted to do this year for a homemade ornament, I came across this. This was not my idea. I came across one that looked like this and I thought, I wonder if I could figure out. I went to get the instructions. Does this ever annoy anybody else on Pinterest? I don't get on there very often, but every now and again I get on there. I'm looking for something. I see a photo of something I like or a recipe that I want to do. I click on the link to go there, and then it's like, oh, to get these instructions, click over here. Oh, to get the instructions, click here. Okay, click here. And then it's a dead link. That's what happened to me. So I can't give credit to whoever came up with this because I couldn't figure out who came up with it. But I did see the photo and I thought, well, maybe I can just figure it out and recreate it. It was easy to recreate. So now let's put these together and you're going to end up having a circle. Okay, and see how the rosette, like it continues? So now what we need is, I'm going to use black, but it really doesn't matter what color cardstock you use. What I'm going to do is punch a circle. So I have a circle, and then the next thing that I'm going to need handy is the little nose that we're going to use. Oh, right here. So this is just a circle, a black circle. This is going to be the nose, and how I got the nose is I used a punch. So I used my ice cream cone punch because it had this triangle here, but obviously it's a little big. So all I'm going to do is cut this triangle in half. Let's see if I remember how I did this. Yeah. So it gives me a little thinner nose. Okay, so these are the two pieces we need right away to be ready. So now what you do is you just press this down into a circle. I want the white velvet part obviously on the front. So the back, we're just going to pinch this together like so. Now you can use your silicone mat. I usually never worry about it. I usually just have my hot glue sitting on my silicone mat, but you can get a silicone mat at Stampin' Up! In my online store. And all you're gonna do is put a big bunch of hot glue right there. You're gonna be really careful. Then you're gonna bring your circle over and press it together, and you wanna hold it and hold the circle together. Now it's a little bit hot to touch it, it's a little bit hot, so just be careful. So we're gonna hold it. So also don't forget right now while I'm holding this and I'm waiting for the next step, don't forget that Stampin' Up! Just updated their clearance rack. So there's items on the clearance rack, and then also the last chance items are last chance. So once they sell out, they sell out. One of the items that we are actually using today is the black glitter paper, and you won't be able to get that once it sells out, and at the end of the month it retires. So now once that black circle, like once it's, dried in there, you're going to carefully flip it over, and then you're going to put more hot glue in the middle of your rosette, And then some of it's gonna come out of the circle there. And that is where we're going to put our nose. And I suggest for this, you use your bone folder just in case it seeps out. And you can make sure you turn it to the side. So now you have a little nose. And you're still gonna hold that. It takes a minute for the hot glue to, you know, kind of dry and cure. But between the circle on the back and the nose on the front, your rosette is gonna stay together. So now you have that decorative edge because you used the punch. Now the punch I used was just an old scalloped border punch. If you have dies, you could die cut it, anything like that. But you don't have to either. I'm going to show you one that doesn't have any of the scalloped part on the edge. Okay, so the next things that we need is I dug out 2 black buttons. I literally had 4 of these black buttons left, and that was it. I don't have a very, large selection of buttons anymore. So we're gonna add those right to the tip of the nose. And again, I'm just gonna use a little hot glue. Press that down, and I'm adding it like almost right to the bridge of the nose. You can see that. And then we'll add that. I think that fell too much in the, I think it'll be okay. Should have done the hot glue over a little bit more. I might need a little, well, I think it's okay. Press those down. So now we have this. Okay, so the next piece that you're going to need, and we're gonna do the hat. So I have, this is 3/4 of an inch, and then it is by like 3.5. So I just held it up and sort of eyeballed it to see what would work best with my size snowman. So I cut it at 3/4 of an inch, and then I kind of held it up to the, what I knew would be the circle, and then I trimmed it off. And then the next piece is a square. Oh, you know what? This isn't the right piece. It's the same size, but so it's 3/4 of an inch. And then you're going to have a piece that's going to sit on this. So I would make this a little bit shorter. I wouldn't want such a tall hat, but that's how we're going to make the hat. So I have my piece here. So it's that 3/4 of an inch. And then this one is, I think, by like 3 1/4 or 3 1/8. I might actually need that to be a little bit bigger. But then I have the top of my hat that's going to go on here. Yeah, I think I'm going to make this a little bit bigger actually. So I'll show you guys the process. This I don't think is big enough. So this one I think works better like so. And then I think this will be enough. So again, I'm going to eyeball it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold it up, and then I'm going to make a snip like right there, and then I'll cut it straight with my trimmer. Because I want a nice straight edge. So it's like 3 1/8 is probably what it's going to end up being. Okay, so this is how you're going to make the top of your hat. So let's bring this back over and just make sure it's like the right size. So here we want the face like that, and then we want the hat tilted like on its side. So that looks pretty good. And then this piece is going to go over the top, and that's going to be a pretty good hat. So then I'm just going to take a corner rounder. I have the corner chomper, and I'm going to do a 1/4 inch. And then we're going to take, this is red ribbon. You could do any color ribbon you want. This is the linen ribbon. You can get it in the catalog, in the annual catalog. And I'll cut off a piece, and then we're just going to tie it in a bow. And when you do this, because this is glitter paper, this is going to work fine to hold this really tight. But if you're using cardstock, you're going to want to be careful with this part so you don't rip it, so your ribbon doesn't rip. But you're going to hold this pretty tight so it even curls a little bit, and then do your bow. And then it'll probably loosen a little bit as you pull the loops through and tighten it, but that should end up being perfect because you held it tight. See how it ended up being flat? My glitter paper ended up being flat. So then you're gonna I always pinch mine together, especially because this is glitter, so it's gonna be hard to move this linen ribbon, but I want this linen ribbon all the way at the bottom of this piece. And then I also want the bow piece at the edge. So that looks good. And then I'll make my loops a little smaller and fluff them out. With the bow, you just have to, you know, you just have to play with it a little bit. Fluff it out, move your little, these little pieces, and then hold the bow down when you're moving these around. And it'll end up being fine. I should be using my ribbon scissors to trim this, but you know, it'll be fine. Okay, so now we're gonna put the hat together. Let's see, I think the best way to do this is to put it together actually on the little snowman guy. So this piece here, I sort of don't like the way that white part is. Hey, Linda. So I'm just gonna take my ink pad, my black one, and cover that right up. See? So now what we're gonna do is place this. I want his little head like tilting. So we're gonna take our hot glue gun, put some hot glue on here. You have a few seconds with hot glue. Like, it's not terrible if you don't get it right on there. Now you can make it where the hat is right above his head, but like I said, I want mine tilted, okay? So far, really easy, right? We just have our black glitter paper. We have our velvet paper here. I probably should have like done some spray glitter on here to make it glittery. And then buttons and then cardstock, right? We've used all of our punches. So I always hold on to a lot of my punches. I'm sure you have a triangle punch somewhere. Our stitched triangle dies would be cute if we have one that's small enough. I'm going to show you one of these that are really big in a second. Okay, so then the next piece is the top of our hat, right? So again, I just want this ribbon to be at the very bottom of this piece because I want the seam to be kind of covered basically, okay? And then what we're gonna do is just add a lot of hot glue. Oh shoot. I need another hot glue stick. Oh, I gotta go fast. Hot glue stick, fast. I'm doing it right over that ribbon so it'll hold in place. And then because it's glitter paper, that's why you're gonna want that hot glue. So now that I got it in that spot, now we can just hold that until the hot glue. I'm gonna show you a trick for all these little strings in a minute, so don't worry about it. Just get your hot glue on there and hold it in place. Hey, Elizabeth. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is take your heat tool and you're gonna turn it on low on 1 and just run it over there, and that's gonna get rid of all those little strings. It's gonna melt them right into the thing, just very gently, okay? Okay, so here's our little snowman here. So the last thing we're going to do is take some green cardstock. Now this is Granny Apple Green. And I'm gonna take my punch. This punch is not retired, it is available. but it is retiring. So this is my holly punch. You need this in your Christmas stash, okay? You guys know I keep all of my Christmas dies. I keep all my Christmas paper, regardless of whether it retires or not. I keep most of my Christmas punches and also a lot of my Christmas stamps I keep. This is a punch that you are going to want to have in your stash. Not only is it like awesome for card making because you have this like panel you can make. It's great for scrapbooking pages because you have the panel you can make. But then you also have these holly pieces that punch out that you can totally use also on cards and other things, but particularly for items like this where you're making like a DIY 3D item. It's awesome. So make sure you pick up this punch before it retires. I'm going to stick a tiny, tiny bit of hot glue on here, and then I'm going to put it right under the bow. And you probably need either hot glue or liquid glue to make sure that sticks to your glitter paper. So then just make sure you press it in there. That hot glue is going to get on that ribbon, and then it's also going to help that bow on that ribbon to stay flat. Okay, so then I've just added another little piece. Right under the bow we go. And it's okay if it pops up a little bit. You just have to work kind of fast with the hot glue. Like so. And I use more hot glue than not, right? Like I'm a fan of the hot glue. Okay, so the other reason we have the circle on here is because this is how we're going to add our twine to make it an ornament. So I just have this random piece of gold. You can use whatever you have on hand. And what we're gonna do is, what I like to do, let's see, is probably tie this in a knot first. And that will probably work. Let's see, if you hang it on the tree like this, that'll probably work. I think that's probably high enough. I might have needed to make it higher, but it'll probably work. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of hot glue to that and just let it hang out and rest on there. And then I will stick a piece of tape over it. And that's how I will hang it on the tree. So we'll just let that hang out for a minute. And you can also put a piece of tape up higher. All my tape is with my wrapping paper where we're wrapping gifts, so I don't have any tape right by me. But that's what I'll do before I hang it on the tree. So there's this one, right? And oh no, I made it like, well, I guess it'll be okay that way. I should have made the string come up this way because I wanted him to hang on the side, but this will be okay too. I might need to adjust that. Oh, I still can. Okay. It's okay. Your hot glue will come off your bone folder. You don't need to worry about that. Yeah, I think that's going to hang better. So now it'll hang like that on the tree. Okay, so we'll let that dry. So let me show you the bigger one I made. Okay, so this one got a little too big. So this was at 2.5, and you can see I didn't punch the end of it. So my original strip, when I did my original strip for this one, if you want a really big one, this was 2.5. So I did 2.5 strips and put it together. So once I got this far, I was like, I think that's probably too big. But I used all the same stuff. I used the same punch, the same buttons, the same glitter paper. So then I thought, well, I want it to be a little bit smaller and I want it to have a little bit more like pizzazz. And so I thought I would do the scalloped, but it's the same concept. So this one was 2 inches by 12 and 2 of those. And I put those together to create the snowman. And then with if you have any of these little strings that you can melt them with your hot tool, your tool gun, or you can just peel them off. It works fine. The other thing that you can do is you can add jingle bells. So I have some jingle bells from several years ago that Stampin' Up! Did, and you could add those to the middle with your holly and instead of a bow. So just wrap your ribbon around flat, don't make a bow, and then add your holly leaves and your jingle bells. So those are so simple and so fun. So this is my handmade ornament for this year, and I'll just write on the back here. I'll take a white gel pen. And we'll just write on the back of this. Okay. So how cute is this? I really love the way it came out. So there'll be photos on my website, and then all the supplies that I used will be listed in the YouTube description below or over on my website as well. And then instructions, if you came in halfway through or you need written instructions, I will type those out over on my website so you can see exactly what it is. So I hope that you guys are having a wonderful Christmas. I just wanted to catch up with you guys a little bit and connect. I know I'm not doing regular lives anymore, so I just pop on here when I have a few minutes. And I just wanted to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. My mom is here. We're making cookies. And I made my grandma's fudge for the first time this year. Since my grandma passed away, our family hasn't had my grandma's fudge since she passed away 4 years ago. And so this year I made it. And so we've done that. And then we're making cookies. And the kids are home on a snow day today, which has been fun. So we're just hanging out, watching Christmas movies and enjoying the tree. And I hope that you guys are having a wonderful holiday season. It really is the most wonderful time of the year, and I love it so much. So I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. I will have a video for you guys and a blog post up on Friday, and I will be sharing with you how I'm wrapping up my Project Life album, my memory keeping album for the year. I will be sharing with you some photos of that. I know, a snow day, Elizabeth. It actually, the funny thing about our county is our elevation levels are so different. So literally, it did not snow here at my house, but it literally snowed 10 minutes away from me in Jackson and 15 minutes away from me at my friend Jen's house. So a lot of times our school district, when they call a snow day, it's because the elevations, like we call it up country, like the buses can't get up country. And so that's why we end up getting a snow day. But we actually had a really wicked storm. Our tree in our front yard snapped in half yesterday, scared the living daylights out of us. We were sitting on the couch and heard it. I was really devastated about that. You guys know we did a lot of work in our front yard last summer. And so our tree snapped in half. Thank God the car wasn't parked under it. It fell the other direction. So that was good. But then all down, like the way we get to like Costco and Target and like how we go to town, there were trees, tons of trees down in both directions. We're actually kind of boxed in today because they're clearing the roads. So we didn't really get a snow day, but our school district often will call snow days. We have I think we currently have 7 snow days built into our school year. So if we don't use them, we get out a whole week earlier at the end of the year. But if we have to use them, then they go a whole week later. But it's funny that we're under a snow day, but we are not really under any snow, but all up country is. Yeah. unfortunately, my husband does not like the snow, so he is not up for taking us to the snow. But yeah, that's why we get called. We got notified last night that the roads were going to be too bad for buses to get to our other schools. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this, and I'll be back on Friday. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and I hope that you guys are enjoying this time of the year. If you're in where it snows, or you're having bad storms, or I know the back east, I know you guys have gotten tornadoes. I've been watching that. So I hope everybody's staying safe and, keeping safe through the winter. So thank you guys so much. And I will chat with you guys later.